everybody, the day has finally came to come pick up the Raptor. I'm on my way to Illinois Powersports right now. We're really close. I'm super stoked to see the machine. I have not seen it or really heard what's been done to it. Jay has briefly told me what's all happened to the machine, so this is super exciting. I cannot wait to see the quad. So we're gonna be there in just a little bit, and he's gonna show us everything, and maybe we'll get to see a dyno pull. I guess we'll see.
To it too and stuff. So it's a pretty involved helmet.
Yeah, because I've gotten big tank infections.
All right, so we are in the dyno room here with Jay, and he's going to do some test runs of the Raptor for us. I officially have no idea what the numbers are that this thing's putting out, but everybody's pretty excited, and I guess we'll find out.
All right, so this is your file right here. I made 104 passes on the thing.
Holy cow.
Now, a lot of it's part throttle tuning. There's not many full throttle tunes because you don't need to. I concentrate a lot of my efforts on the bottom. The full throttle is nice and it's good, but here's the thing, like we need to make 7-8 passes before it even proves it gets a number. When I was breaking it in, I started with all the low stuff. There's your 2% throttle, like I'm talking like the columns here. See 2, 5, 10, 15, 20. This is your map.
Yeah.
Your fuel map.
And then what do these make? These are around 45 stock?
These are 45 stock.
45 stock, that's like...
But it's like a terrible 45, like it's a 45 like this. Like you hit 45 and you're done.
And then you're done.
That's basically it. There's no carry in the power.
Did you ever fire it up? It did run, but we just turned it off so fast.
If the oil filter out, I wouldn't start it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I had to put an oil pump in it. The oil suction screen was so full of metal. We spent 20 minutes trying to clean it. I was like, man, the cheapest way I do it. I'm going to buy a new one anyway. Then trying to clean metal out and miss something.
Yeah.
The oil tank was full of metal. We cleaned all that out, all the lines obviously. We replaced every bearing inside the motor, every seal.
Jeez, all of them.
We don't take chances.
It's a lot of attention to detail, but could go a long ways for the longevity of the motor. I didn't expect you would do it to that extent. This whole thing has been completely
We have
done.
to treat every motor around here like it's a pro motor.
From start to finish, kind of like what was all done. I mean, you said you changed every bearing and seal in there.
Right.
And then there's aftermarket parts that are in the top of the motor now too.
So basically what you have now, besides your FCI intake with the box, Rossier pipe, and power commander is your big three. Now you've got the Vertex 10-to-1 piston, pump gas, poured the head with our CNC port, did the drag port, did the +2 valves, which won't really help you now, but you're going to grow into it with our plans that we're talking. So when you go with the 734, or whichever size motor you go with, this head will handle that, so we don't have to report the head in the future. Board throttle, it's got the stock throttle body. You have a board throttle body, the head will support that, no problem. Oh, there is a cam in there too now, yeah.
We won't touch it until it's time to do that level of work though.
Right, so what we normally do is when a build comes in like this, to keep it economical as possible, if the cylinder looks good yet, we'll keep it a stock bore. If the cylinder, the plating's worn off, like we've seen many times because of not so ample air filter maintenance, then it's time to do the 105.5 mil bores where we take them to on the stock cylinder. And that puts it to a 734 motor.
Wow. And then if you really graduate, you move up to you?
Well, then that gets expensive when you go in the bottom. Then you do custom stroke crank.
If you put a crank in, you might as well put a big crank in.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. This is already crazy exciting.
Yeah, let's fire it up.
We're gonna fire it up here.
We'll do 3 passes. So it's going to make probably, on a cold motor, probably 53 horse, 56, 7, somewhere in there.
Cool. Let's see this thing. Viewing room is cool.
Yeah, you let people know, there'll be like 5 or 6 people that are giving
all in here to watch.
Yeah, you do.
That's cool. That's super healthy, the way it sounds.
Fourth pass, we're already at 58.
Holy crap.
Past the fourth pass, you've already gained 3 horsepower. On this machine, by the time you get this whole thing warmed up, the chain, everything, it takes about 7-8 passes, and then you'll see that same number.
Wow.
That we saw before. But the shape is all exactly the same.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it's spot on. That is so great.
Yes.
Wow, I can't believe how much more is on the top end of it.
The rear is just it's warm. So that means there's coolant flowing and thermostat's opening, but nothing's all warmed up.
Yeah.
So that'll make a big difference when it is. Example of a stock Raptor. This isn't even completely stock. This one is a power commander with a 0 map, spark arrestor removed out of the muffler, pump gas, airbox lid on, uni filter in it, which is basically a stock replacement. So there's a bone stock motor. So when you do your big 3 now, okay, this has a monster exhaust, power commander, FCI intake with box, pump gas. So this is your machine right here is how you were running it. So that's pretty much what you had.
It was the same setup, but it was a monster
might
pipe.
actually have a little more top end power than what yours had just because of the design of the pipe.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with the designs, just
That's the difference between how they're bent and everything, but
So this green line, it's just a power commander box tune, uni filter, no lid, HMF exhaust.
red is stock, blue
Yep.
would kind of be your top shelf big 3, and green would be kind of your more budget big 3.
Right. One more build I'll show you before I'll show you yours. It was this guy here. He brought in a pump gas, +1 valve, poured and polished, webcam, billet throttle body, monster exhaust, FCI intake,
Holy cow.
power commander 5 with 11-to-1 compression. So this was his best run, is the yellow.
Oh wow, look at the top of that. Holy
But
cow.
yeah, look at the top of that. There's no over rev. It's signed off hard and it was done.
Yeah. The torque stays relatively the same with
Yes.
these mods down low.
But you gotta have the thing run clean out to here because look what he's making
Yeah.
for power out close to the rev limiter.
Exactly, and those other motors are falling off hard.
Yes.
So that was a 56 horse motor.
Your motor.
It's gonna be more than that. That's insane. I don't know if I'm old enough for this. Am I?
Your motor.
Holy cow. Wow.
All the front side of the other builds with all the over.
Yeah, it's like, it's definitely above all of them. I mean, these are big 3 machines right here.
Yes.
That is crazy how much higher that
No
is.
loss on the bottom end.
At 9,000 RPM, you're a full 10, 12 horsepower above all those other motors.
This thing needs handling work ASAP, or I'm gonna hurt myself. That's crazy. I love all the overlays. This is really cool to see.
Once you do your other mods, it'll start making a little cleaner curve rather than this little bit of a wavy line. Because right now you've kind of we've got too much head, is what we're saying in your machine. On purpose.
Yes.
Not because we felt like making the head big. But you'll grow into your other mods now, it'll make the line look even better. This is what you would grow into. This machine is a pump gas build, but he's running only premium. Like I couldn't take a chance on you running maybe a little less than premium, so I kept it 10-to-1. This is 10 3/4-to-1. It's got the same head plus 2 valves, FCI intake, no box, and that doesn't matter though. Same cam, but it has a Dasa duals on it because it's one of the last years for the dual port. And the same spark plug, same power commander, and tuning it. And this is no throttle body though. This is stock throttle body. There, so see, when you start growing into the mods, how much cleaner the line looks too.
Yeah.
So the 734 is worth about 6 horsepower right off the bat.
Wow.
In my opinion, 5 to 7 horse.
Yeah, you are right. Once you open the can of worms,
where do you stop?
it never, exactly, but
And
it,
how high is up? That's what we gotta ask ourselves.
I'm going to chime in as the third party on this.
yeah.
This dyno was bought from the rep of DynoJet.
Wow.
His
Yes.
personal dyno. I've actually dynoed dynos. So I've taken mine to Lane at Driveline Performance. I've dynoed here. I've flown my motor to Matt Shear and had him dyno his dyno to see, let's triangulate these dynos and find out how accurate they are.
Yeah.
And you
We
and
were all within
like
1 1/4 horsepower.
Oh, really? Like all of
On a
them?
100 horse Banshee motor, we're within 1 1/4.
That's pretty cool to see the accuracy between them all. So that's really good for everybody to validate themselves that way.
you'll notice where his stack is for his computers next to your machine. If I mount that stack here, or I stick it on a shelf over here in the corner, and you make a bunch of passes and the room's full up of carbon monoxide and warmth, this thing is going to read a different atmosphere. So when it adjusts, your dyno's adjusting for elevation, it's adjusting for air conditions.
That's the atmospheric module right there that's hanging down. See, it's got a little fan inside.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And that's taking all, like you said, the ambient temperatures and
And then
everything in the air.
Another thing that people run into is they go in and they can program their dyno. And you don't want to tweak stuff, but guys can say that the wheel weighs more than it does.
So that's why the final numbers in almost all cases are with a grain of salt.
Yes. And ideally, you want somebody to come in and be able to make a pass with what they have, and then they see the before and after.
And see the difference, because that's all that's accurate.
So I don't know, do you want any other video before we take it off?
No, this is more than enough. Thank you for doing all this. This is so,
that's fine.
this was so cool to see it on here. It's definitely the real deal as far as your setup. So you've got the old clutch right here?
Yeah, so here's the first plate with the judder spring.
Wow.
And yours is baked. The other stuff is not bad. They're getting a little dark, but they're not, the steels are not turning colors. So it's not to that point, because this thing will smoke itself out beforehand.
Yeah.
So now this is gone. You've got 9 of these instead of 7 of these and 1 of these. So that's the difference.
Awesome. So as far as longevity goes, what do you think we could expect out of your clutch? I mean, I'm still going to ride it the same way.
I'm going to say my clutch should look as good as what all these do in this amount of time.
Wow.
Because this is out of the equation.
That just seems like it's super poorly designed. I mean, I don't think I do a bad job running the machine.
It's nothing you did. It's
So
just,
but there's people that think that that's the case. Is that like I did a bad job, I fried that.
No,
So-
this will happen whether your hand was on the clutch or somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else is on the clutch. Well, that's really good to know. Thanks for explaining that. And that's really cool that it's upgraded now.
Move that around.
Oh, it's so gritty. Holy crap.
People will say like that's not hot. That's just when they heat it to put the crank together from the factory.
Wow.
And then see how it took out the piston too.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it wants to throw it forward on the
scored
cylinder.
the cylinder too, didn't it?
No, I saved the cylinder.
Oh, you were?
Same cylinder.
Cool.
That means he shut it off in time.
It shut itself off in time. All right, it's a lot later in the day here. It looks super good to have the Raptor back. I'm super excited to ride it for the first time. Jay did a killer job. I'm actually kind of in shock at how much was done. He was just breaking down his build process, and the attention to detail is beyond my expectations. I couldn't have even fathomed how much work he did. I mean, nothing gets touched without a torque wrench. That's pretty much his motto. So this thing is going to be a total ripper, super reliable, and he made it happen, and I more than recommend Illinois Powersports. Let's go make our 6-hour drive home.